Video, we're going to continue working away at the practice quiz for grade 11 functions course. I stopped at question number 11 in the last video, so continuing on with question number 12. It's a radical question. 4 minus 3 root 5 times 2 plus 4 root 7. I'm really asked to FOIL or expand, and I'm going to multiply 4 by 2, then I'm going to multiply 4 by 4 root 7. I'm going to multiply 3 root 5 by 2 and then 3 root 5 by 4 root 7. 4 root 7 and 3 root 5, they are entire terms, like 3 and square root of 5 is together. And sorry, my pen just stopped working. By 3 and root 5 go together. They're a single term. So it's 3 times root 5, but you don't look at them as 3 and root 5 as separate things. They're together. So when I multiply them by 4, I'm multiplying 4 only once into the entire term, and same thing with the other radical. So multiplying this in, 4 times 2, well, that's just 8. 4 times 4 root 7, well, it's going to be a plus, and then 4 times 4 is 16. I'm multiplying 4 with 4 because both of those are outside of the root sign. Root 7 stays a root 7 because there's no other radical that's being multiplied here. Continuing on, I'm going with negative 3 root 5 times 2. That's going to be negative 6 root 5. Again, I get 6 because I do 2 times 3. I do not multiply 2 and root 5 together because to get root 10. That's not true, because root 5 is under, the 5 is under the radical, the 2 is outside of the radical, so we cannot multiply them together. The 2 stays outside, root 5 stays inside. And then we have negative 3 root 5 times 4 root 7. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Root 5 and root 7, they get multiplied to give us root 35 because they're both under the square root sign. Looking at my answers here, I made an error in one of the answer solutions. This is the correct answer. 8 minus 16 root 7 should actually be 8 plus. So there is a typo in the answer sheet, but this is the correct answer. And I will award a point to all of the students that did this quiz or did this question, because the error is on my end. The solution. Okay, moving on to the next question. We've got a factoring problem, and it says factor x squared plus 22x plus 121. And what we could do is we could do product sum here. I could say, okay, well, my product is 121. My sum is 22, and that's perfectly legit. I could totally do that, but I should recognize that, hey, these guys are perfect squares. The x squared is a perfect square. That's usually the case. However, the last term is also a perfect square. We can take a square root of it. What do I get? I get x plus square root of 121 is 11. It's a nice number. Plus, because there's a plus here, this is always a plus there. So if we have all pluses, we know that our bracket will be a plus, and all of this is to the exponent 2. So if we did product sum, our two numbers would have been 11 and 11. However, there's a shortcut, x plus 11 squared. You can see that this is true, because if I do x plus 11 times itself and I FOIL it, the middle term will be x times 11, and then again 11 times x here, and that'll give me 22x, which is this middle term. So I can actually simplify this through recognizing that this is a perfect square trinomial. So I will go ahead and just write in my final answer and move on. Similarly, it asks me to do 16x squared minus 56x plus 49. Again, I can do this if I recognize that this is a perfect square trinomial. I could, if I really wanted to, I could go ahead and do product sum. But look at this product sum. I would have to multiply 16 by 49. That's already a big number. I don't want to do that if I don't have to. I could recognize that 16x squared is a perfect square. 49 is also a perfect square, and then I have a minus here. So my answer is going to be something to the exponent 2, minus in the middle here, and then I'm going to take a square root of the first term. What's the square root of the first term? Well, that's just 4x, and square root of 49 is 7. So this is wonderful. I can actually factor it out really, really quickly. And now again, if you want to double check it, you can do 4x minus 7, all of it squared, so times itself. And then if you multiply 4x by 4x, you'll get 16x squared. 4x times negative 7 will be negative 28x, and then 7 times negative 4, or negative 7 times 4x will be negative 28x. And then if you double that, because it's negative 28 minus 28, you will get negative 56 as the middle term. And then, of course, negative 7 times negative 7, that is positive 49. We are good. So this is just 4x minus 7, all of it to the exponent 2, and we are all done.